Hey everyone, it's Lauren again, and we're back for the third installment of this little mixed media technique mini-series for Kitaholic Club. Kitaholic Kits, actually. It's a cool little club. Anyway, this time I'm going to use the art crayons from Vicky Bouton that we got in the July mixed media kit to stamp. So I've got this little heart, no, it's not a heart, it's a cloud with a little face that come from the Little U crepe paper collection. I'm just rubbing the crayon straight onto the stamp and just going around making sure that the colour is on well enough that I can see a little bit of it on each area. Round it goes. It's sort of just like drawing. It's just they're crayons. Just play with them and draw. So just whoop, pushing it down, and you can see some of it, but my lighting again, sorry, I recorded all these in the same night. I had so much fun with mixed media that my lighting played up after the second video. You will be able to see it shortly. You can see parts of it, but I'm just look at the technique for a moment and then you'll be able to see the goodness of the stamping. I try and when I'm editing to do as much as I can with the lighting. So yeah, so I'm just wiping it off because I sprayed it with the water. It is very wet, and so I use my paper towel on both sides of the stamp. Plus it's old stamp, so it's not sticking very well. So just going in with some blue here, as you can see, going round, and you can see the blue being added to the stamp. So on it goes, run his cheeks, couple of sprays. I just shake it a little to get the water moving. There we go. You can see the beautiful stamps. Isn't it beautiful? It's such a cute stamp. So I'm just making a little background here with these stamps and just randomly placing them around. Wipe off my stamp. So yeah, I'm just going to put my photo in the bottom right corner around that area, not in the like total corner, but over that area. So when I was thinking about where I'm stamping, I'm keeping that in mind. So yes, I'm going to go with the darker green. So as you can see, once again, just round with the crayon. Round it goes. Rub it on his cheeks and his eyes. And I just hold it at an angle so I can make sure that it's on there. I'm not pushing very heavily. You don't have to. You just lightly drawing over it. These art crayons are so bright with their colour. The pigment is so strong that you don't need a whole pile of colour. And if you were going to put a whole pile of colour on a stamp, you might get it very blotchy as such, like some parts might be heavier and darker and chunkier maybe. You might even get chunks of it pull off. So yeah, so hopefully this is the third installment. So hopefully you've had a trial with the first two techniques, even if you haven't got the art crayons, that you're just using your own mixed media medium that you've got in your kit and your stash, and you're having a bit of play and that these are actually helping. Let me know, because any feedback is nice. I'm just doing what I think people might want to know and what I'm enjoying playing with. But if there's anything you guys want to let me know or want to ask me, then go ahead and ask me in any of the Facebook groups for Kitaholics, or ask on the video here. So that was wet, and I still put on some extra colour just because I wondered how that would go, and that went perfectly. So you could spray it with the water, you can add the colour on. Nicer if you have a stamp that's not so old and sticks properly so that it's not moving. So yeah, you can see there's a few different ways you can do it. You can have a total play with it. The other way you can do it is that you can just rub on the colour. I think I might do it now. You rub on the colour, and without misting it, you just stamp it straight on. Because they're crayons, because the pigment's so nice, they're not dry, that it goes on. You wouldn't be able to stamp too many times with it that way, but you can totally stamp a few times. So let's see if this is the way. So round and round and round we go. You wouldn't, there we go, straight on without misting it. And then mist it again, or not again, but mist it so that we can go again and again. So sorry about the lighting. I was so fuming when I started editing, and I was like, what? I've spent so much time and effort, and I tried to make it like just simplified and easy for people to follow the mixed media techniques, and the lighting let me down. So I was trying to play with those Charm Creation clouds. They don't make the cut, but I certainly did try to do it. But I do a different technique which uses the art crayon, well, sort of different. Anyway, so it was a nice little fail that the Charm Creations didn't work this time. So just working on some layering, just a little bit of blue, and then a full green. So interesting, I don't mat it in a full colour first, which is what I normally do when I am matting my photos. So a little bit of blue first before I put on the green. So this is another blue and green inspired and colour palette layout. Add in some of this grey. So nice. It's nice to add in a bit of that neutral to break it up. Oh my gosh, you can't, it looks like I have this brightest white paper with this crazy photo. That lighting is shocking. I don't know. I'll play with it. Hopefully it's fine next time. Maybe it is because it was so late. It was midnight, past midnight by the time I'd done this third layout. But when you're on a scrappy mojo and you're doing what you feel like you're enjoying and working, so it's working well for you, you just continue. Doesn't matter about the time sometimes. So just cutting off a strip of tissue paper. Cut out that oh yeah, and I really wanted to use that as a title. I'm still trying to work out these Charm Creations. Clouds, the little felt and tulle white clouds. You cannot see anything at all in terms of it looks like I'm just imaginary touching things and moving things. Oh my gosh, move along. So pull out some other Charm Creations, see what else I can do. I have so many clouds because I had this idea of doing a lovely cloud background, and for some reason I have not got round to it. They just do not work for me when I want to do it. So this is where I have the idea to replace the Charm Creations, and instead I'm going to do some packaging technique. So scribble it on the plastic, add in some water, rub it together to mix all the colour properly. Make sure you get all the chunks, and just going to flip it straight over and move the plastic around so that the colour moves around. Now I'm not worrying too much about where it's going because I'm going to use this to stamp on rather than using it as a background. So that is a fun way to play with your packaging technique, is just do it this way and then use your punches, cut out some shapes, or just use your scissors or put some stamps on there and use it that way. That way you get the feel of the packaging technique and you get to practice, but you also are not wasting colour and cardstock and mixed media and your time, because time is precious too. So 2 shades of blue, the nice beautiful green, and there we go. Oh, and some dark green, because why not? We have a few of the colours on the main layout, so we should add some colour here. So just rub, flip it over, and just use the packaging to move the colour. So I'm using the packaging there, I'm holding both edge and just dipping it in the middle to pick up the colour and move it around. So I'm going to get back with my stamp, and I'm going to stamp straight over the top of that with some colour. Just wiping up, because I've learnt from the first layout. Well, I didn't learn quick enough because I did have to wipe some off my paper here. But luckily I was able to wipe it off. So stamping on it so that there's some packaging technique colour behind the clouds, and that's going to make them stick out. So the idea is that these clouds are going to be up on some packaging, up on some foam tape, and they're going to stick over some of the clouds so that there's some dimension to the background and it's not just a flat stamped background. Because even though it was nice, I wanted some more texture and depth to it. I didn't want to watercolour over top of it. I didn't want to risk the stamps blending and mixing and seeping out. So I thought this would be really cool, and I do like the result for sure. So I've gone over it with some colours here. The good thing about this video is that you get plenty of opportunities to really see the process. I have not sped up everything to super warp speed, so you can see everything in detail so that you can learn. So hopefully these are the things that are helping. Sometimes with mixed media we're all a bit worried about what to do, but the good thing is that just have a play. Nothing's wrong. Everything's going to work out one way or the other. If you don't like something, use it for punches or layering behind your photo or in your art journal or something like that. Give it to your child. They'll enjoy it. And change it up, and if you do like it, then you have a brilliant mixed media layout that you're going to be super proud of. Just be creative, have fun. So just fussy cutting these clouds, and the power of magic of editing, they're all cut out. So apparently I didn't stick down that layer behind the photo, so that's going to be stuck down now. And I have the black and white crosses too. That's going to go on the background for another layer. Bleh. Apparently forgotten the word layer. So now you can see I'm just laying them down where I think they should go, and that actually helped with the lighting so that you could see a bit better. And using some fun foam wet glue to stick it down, because that's just going to be easier, and I feel that it sticks better than double-sided tape. And there we go, some nice simple layers behind the photo, and we got it. So here we are, adding some foam tape. Some of them, a lot of them actually, I put over top of directly over a stamped cloud that I've already stamped, because where I've positioned them is where I want them. I don't want them overlapping as such. There is one overlapping, one nearly overlapping as well, and that is just the way visually it looks good to my eye. And I just put one down there near the photo to start off the embellishment cluster that's going to happen down there. So just adding a line of double-sided tape. I did it in 2 strips because I didn't cut enough off, and I'm just folding that tissue paper in half, and then I'm just literally concertining the paper and scrunching it up at the same time. Because it's tissue paper, it scrunches so nicely. I'm just like folding it and pushing it together, folding it the next way, that kind of thing. Like it's accordion, isn't it? Like concertini, accordion. You know how you fold one way, then you fold back the other way, and then it folds out like like an accordion, like the musical instrument accordion. Surely. Correct me if I'm wrong. So really wanted to make that oh yeah work. I cut it out into individual letters, and I thought that might help it a bit. And just go, look at all these words. So when I sort out my kits, if you've seen my unboxing last month, you will see that I sort out the pieces into labels, I sort them into ephemera pieces, I sort them out into words, and then the other like chunky 3D embellishments and whatnot are all different as well. But it's so nice to go, okay, I want a title or I want a word, and just pull those things out and try and find it. So I commit to that camera because I love that camera, and I'm going to commit to this word awesome, because look at the blue. It's like watercolory blue, and it sort of has like that ombre as well. Not heavily ombre, but it's good because it matches into the stamps on the background and those stamps that are lifted up on the foam tape. So you can see I really wanted that oh yeah to work, partly because I thought it would go so well with it, but also because at that stage I was like, if I put it back in the ephemera box, I might forget what it says, and when I try and, I find a couple of letters and I can't find the rest, what am I going to do? So add in that half of a label over there, add in some of these clear stickers, the stars, and there's not much more on this layout. Just a lovely little photo of my boys giving each other a cuddle and a smile at the airport open day a couple of years ago. Add in that small word that says brothers, and that means my title is Awesome Brothers, because look how cute they are together. They are really good brothers. They definitely were back then. They are getting a bit attitudey to each other because of the age they are and the different things they like, but they are still really good boys. So I decided that a flare would be great for that part over there. So that cluster above the camera. So this cluster is sort of like to the left of the photo, down along with the awesome word title and the green tissue paper, but also then up with that cloud and with these word stickers. So it's a really cool different way to do your clusters rather than the 3 or 2 clusters that you usually do that aren't connected. So I'm just using my crayon here to add some colour to the side, sort of like inking your pages. I'm just pulling up the edges so that it's on the side, but also making me rub on the top as well so that it's not just the edge. It's nice to have a little, so you can see there, see a little bit of the colour on the edge. So I'm just adding some water. I opened up my mist bottle and literally my finger just fits, and if I had less water I wouldn't be able to reach it. So I'm just going around the edges and bleeding out that colour, making it wet so that it moves, and you can see just adds a lovely border. And you could not have got that kind of a look with pattern paper background. It's much better that it is using those art crayons to tie it in with the stamped background. So here's some close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this new technique and you try it out as well. I'll catch you next time. Let us know what you're thinking. Bye.